Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well this evening. Welcome back. This is a update for for our ears only. Yeah, right. Before we get into it, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, and my merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. The links to Patreon and PayPal are in the description below. My merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, the links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe, click that like button, and please leave a comment. It really does help, and guys, it definitely matters. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's get on with tonight's update, shall we? So, many of you know that I really poke the bear when it comes to these attacks and stuff like that, contacting police agencies, and I really don't buy into the conspiracy where I'm being watched. You know, like there's other researchers and channels out there that will say, oh, this happened and it's me, I did too much, you know, when they have like 2-3 million views and nothing to back up that kind of repercussions. I have been looking into these cases, the Border Patrol, the everything. And normally I think of things, you know, life happening. Well, I don't think that happened today. And I had something really strange happen. And if there are anybody in if anyone has any friends or is an attorney, I don't need any desktop computer attorneys. But I was on the highway today and I was going to pick up my daughter. I had my cruise control set at 78 miles an hour. Speed limit 65. I'm speeding 13 miles an hour above the speed limit. That's pretty much what I usually set my thing at, and I ride the middle lane. So there's fast lanes to the left, slow lanes to the right. You know, I'm just right in the middle. And I get off the Northway. It's called the Northway up here. Or I get onto the Northway, and there's a truck, a Vermont plate, riding my tail. And we get on the Northway. I punch it and fly away from him, get in my middle lane, click my cruise control. He's riding aside of me and blasts by. I'm like, that's weird. Just flies by, you know. But he really rode my tail for a good couple of minutes and then just cruised by. We're on the highway for 15 minutes, and there's a hill that you got to go up. I'm going up the hill. I'm in the middle lane. This guy's 3 to 4 car lengths ahead of me, right? And just flies by a kind of alcove or wherever where state troopers would park. I'm with traffic. I'm in traffic, you know. All of a sudden, the state trooper pulls out, and I'm ahead. I'm watching the guy cruise, and I'm like, huh. I'm in the middle lane. I'm just watching him fly. And I'm like, oh, he's gonna get a ticket now. And all of a sudden, the state trooper pulls behind my car. I have a Subaru Forester. They're not a fast car. They're just a small SUV. He pulls me over. He says, do you know why I pulled you over? And I said, I was speeding. He goes, do you know how fast you were going? I said, 70s. Exactly what I said, 70s. He goes, 83. I'm like, there's no way I was going 83. I'm like, that guy in that truck was going at least 90. Why didn't you pull him over? He goes, I didn't see a truck. So I'm like, okay, whatever. He goes, license and registration. I'm like, do you want my insurance? It's like, it's in my phone. I'll give you my insurance information. Nope. He takes my license and my registration. I have a upgraded license. So it's a passport license. So if I go to Canada, if I, go to a military base or whatever, New York State offers those. They have regular licenses and they have those, and I have one of each. And I wanted to be a jerk, so I gave him that one, right? And he kind of looks at it and he's like, and it's an enhanced license, that's what it's called. And he looks at it and he's like, because it's different than the regular licenses. It looks different, but it's still a driver's license. So then he takes the information, he takes my license and takes my registration, and then goes to the front of my car and looks at the front of my car. Looks at the plate. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, this is weird, right? Goes back in his car. I'm sitting there, and I'd called my daughter, and I'm like, hey, Daddy got pulled over. It'll be a couple minutes, but I'll see you soon. 5 minutes go by. I'm like, come on, dude. I'm like, it doesn't take that long to write a ticket. I've got speeding tickets before. That's like my only, I don't have a criminal record. My criminal record consists of 3 speeding tickets, this one included, right? All of a sudden, he comes back with the ticket, hands me my stuff, and says, mail it in or go to court. Plead guilty or not, yada yada. Gets in his car. I pull out and leave. He pulls out and leaves. He's pulled me over and stopped. Another state trooper flies by. Boom. I'm like, maybe he's getting that truck, right? So I pull out, and now after the ticket, I merge into traffic, and the next exit up, a county sheriff gets onto the highway in an SUV. And I'm in the middle lane once again, and he's like here in the slow lane. And then the state trooper that just pulled me over has me like this. So like sheriff, state trooper, me, another car, and a car behind me. These are regular cars that were in front of me and behind me. I could see, one was an older woman that was behind me in an SUV, and So I'm like, what the hell? And then the sheriff, we end up passing the sheriff. I'm going 73. And the sheriff pulls that state boy, pulls into an alcove. Bert stops. The sheriff, Bert stops. And I look, and there's the other state trooper. So there's 2 state troopers and a sheriff. Sheriffs don't go on our highway in upstate New York. It's pretty much run by state police, all right, in our area. Very seldom do you see a sheriff because they're county, you know. Just like in town, not on the highway, in town you seldom see a state trooper. You either see a sheriff or a village. My license says my name, Jeffrey M. Nadolny, Jeffrey Michael Nadolny. I look at the ticket tonight, and my dad's name is on there. My dad's middle initial is different than mine. My dad's middle initial is E, and his name is different than mine. Same last name, different first and different middle. On the ticket, I look at the license number, and I'm like, okay, that's my license number. My dad, because I'd gotten in an accident, I got a new vehicle. My dad co-signed a loan with me for my new car. And I'm like, well, maybe that's why. So I go and I check the registration. My name is on the registration. And now I'm like, this is weird. Because why is my license number... my dad's name is not affiliated with my car at all. Like, that cop should not have put his middle initial down. He shouldn't, it should be Jeffrey M. Nadolny, my license number, yada, yada. The address matched up. I mean, I looked at both the registration and license. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I start thinking about everything. I just grabbed my ticket out of the car after the second upload, after I uploaded the second upload. And so I have a couple of friends who are local police. And I call one of them who's a sergeant. And I'm like, hey, I got to ask you something. And he's like, what's up? And he's on duty. And I'm like, you got a minute? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I tell him the story. I don't tell him about the cop, the other sheriff and the other state trooper. I just tell him about the whole thing. And I'm like, but I wasn't going 83. I'm like, that truck, I don't know where he went to, but he was flying. And he might not have had anything to do with this, but the whole sheriff coming in, that state trooper and the other one flying by and going to the other alcove to park just had me unnerved, Usually when a state trooper gets on the highway, they are in the middle lane, hiding, blending in. And very seldom do you see a sheriff around our area in a SUV on the Northway highway. I really honestly think that has... I don't like reading into things. Like I said, hey, the computer issue was something else, People were like, Jeff, you might be getting watched. The accident. But this has me spun. I admitted that I was going 78, but I wasn't going 83. And there should be no reason why my dad's name is on that ticket. And I'm baffled. So I'm going to reach out to a friend of mine who is an attorney tomorrow and see what he's got to tell me, because I'm a little nervous. I really am nervous about this now. And maybe I'm overreacting, but I don't overreact. Like with the computer, I said, you know, maybe I did something. Maybe there was just a minor malfunction. And then the accident was just a regular accident, I believe. But now I'm kind of weirded out. So I guess I just wanted to share this with you guys, because to me it makes no sense. You know, what are they going to say? That I was trying to get out of a ticket because I gave him my enhanced ID. My enhanced ID says my name. My dad is 70 years old. I look old with my gray hair, but there's no way I look 70 years old, you know? This is beyond baffling to me. Now you guys know. I don't think anything's going to happen, but if something does, at least there's a record. And once again, I don't buy into, I'm not a sketch, you know? I don't know. All right. I'm not going to stop doing what I do, looking into these attacks or anything, but this is all weird. You know? That truck should have gotten pulled over, not me. My dad's name shouldn't be on that ticket. He's nowhere. There's nothing putting him to my car except in the bank. He's not anywhere on the registration, on the insurance, nowhere except in the bank. You guys know, if anything happens, I just wanted to share this. Thanks.